online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Secure yourself, secure your family. Register with Social Security. Make sure your employers pay, cause some of them do melee. Make sure they pay your Social Security. Secure your age pension when you're old. Invalidity pension when health has left you cold. Survivor's pension, secure for your spouse and your children. Life and health, above unpredictable. Don't take risk, you can't afford to gamble. Secure yourself with Social Security. I said that. Social Security, it good, you know.
And we are going straight into the discussion. Don't have much time, busy days. But we can spend some time on discussing important issues like the Dominica Social Security. And it's also a good segue. We just had a program with the coordinator for the Health Promotions Unit, Mignon Road, Shillingford, and she was talking about an increase in influenza cases. It would be interesting to find out, though, if this is if the DSS is already seeing an increase in people, of course, staying home because of this. We'll find that out. But there are a lot of things that we want to discuss this morning. Remember, every month, the third Thursday of every month, for years now, the Dominica Social Security has seen this as necessary to come here and impart information. We take calls, suggestions and everything. And we always have good discussion. On both radio and on the social media platforms and the news desk as well. Always get, a few stories from the discussion that we have. So let me say good morning to you and welcome. It is the 20th day in the month of February. And I have guests in studio 2 this morning. The Felix Anderson studio. Normally we would have like 2 women and 1 man. No, we have 2 men and 1 woman. So that's nice. Let's go to Studio 2 and say good morning, Augustus, Etienne, and all the others. I start with the lady.
Good morning, Ivona.
No stranger, of course. You are a family. Yes.
Yes, by now.
But just tell us again, though, who you are.
Yes. So my name is Kamasha Lloyd, and I am the Communications and Marketing Officer at Social Security. Mm-hmm. And we are here today to discuss some pertinent issues relating to Social Security with our stakeholders. So I'm saying good morning to all the listeners of DBS Radio, both here and abroad, those tuning in via social media, and of course to the wonderful staff at Social Security.
Okay, I'll start with the gentleman on the end. I'll leave Augustus Etienne for the last. Yes, good morning. It's a pleasure to have you on as well.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. This is the first time on air for me. So I'm a rookie. I'm new to the game. That's
You'll feel comfortable. We'll assure that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my name is Abdul Aziz Sanderson. I'm the Computer Services Administrator. And today, along with my colleagues, I'll also be highlighting some of the activities that we're doing as it relates to digitization at the social security.
Sure. All right. Augustus Etienne, a pleasure again to have you on.
Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning to your listeners. Good morning to the staff at DSS. Good morning to all our stakeholders out there. Always a pleasure to be here to interface with the public as we continue to inform and educate them on pertinent matters about social security to ensure that they can avail themselves of the protection that we are meant to provide for them.
Mm-hmm. So I was looking at your Facebook page. I've been looking at it, ever so often. And I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing. I know I also like the traction, because a lot of people are going to the page, I realize, in terms of the views. And I think that's very good. So I just wanted to commend you, even before we start off the discussion on that initiative, to not, to have a platform where people can go and look at your information, get information for themselves as well, on the social media platform. So that's very, very good. I just wanted to say that from the onset. And I'm looking at it, and I'm even forgetting that I have to speak to you all on air because I'm liking what I'm seeing. No, but it's good. It's good. Seriously, it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to discuss several things today.
Yes.
But I just mentioned that there's an increase in influenza cases, and I know normally when this happens, a lot of people take sick leave.
Yes, yes.
And for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Anything you are seeing already, or it's kind of early?
It might be a bit early, but it's not unusual for that to happen. Every year, there's always a period of time when you see a surge in sickness cases because of some influenza virus thing that's going around. And it's usually around carnival time, around festive seasons when you have a lot of people who congregate and so on. So it's not unusual for that to happen, and sometimes, depending on the nature of the people's incapacity, it makes sense for them to abstain from work so that they get better, and also so that they don't continue to spread the thing, because most times it's contagious, and if they go to work, it means they're going to infect other people. So it's kind of advisable that they stay away for a few days. Sometimes when they get to the AC can aggravate their situation, that kind of thing. So it's not unusual for that to happen, and so I cannot say that we have already started to see that, but it will not. It's before long we'll start seeing an increase in claims for that particular incapacity.
Okay. All right, so we want to look at ongoing digital transformation and other topics as well.
Yes.
But I want to start on this though for some reason.
But I just want to start. I just want to start off by saying that Social Security, because of its nature, is not a static system. It's dynamic. It's forever undergoing change because it is expected to remain in existence in perpetuity to serve the last surviving contributor when that time comes. Even for persons who have not yet been thought of, when they get here, if they pay Social Security contributions, they will be expected to get their benefit from Social Security when that time comes. So we will be celebrating 50 years next year February, and we expect to be here for 150 more years, for as long as people continue to live until God comes. And so the system has to undergo changes to ensure that it is both sustainable and relevant as time changes. And every year we speak about certain changes, and for Social Security, most of the changes that are made to the parameters of the system are usually advised by actuarial assessments. Under the law, we have to undergo an actuarial evaluation every 3 years, where the actuary will assess what is happening on the ground, both at Social Security, in terms of the population out there, in terms of the state of the economy, and make projections, make recommendations that are meant to ensure the sustainability of the system over the next 60-year horizon. And so we make changes to provisions like how much benefit we pay, how long we pay them for, what contribution these people have to pay, because that is what the actuaries assess. What are the risks that we cover protecting people against, and what are the premiums that would be adequate to mitigate those risks when they happen. And so they make recommendations to change certain things about the system. So when we talk about increases in contribution rates, we talk about increasing the pensionable age. We're also talking about increases in pensions, which incidentally going to take effect as of the 1st of March. Every 3 years we increase pension for inflation to kind of index the pension to ensure that the purchasing power of the pension is kind of maintained to a certain extent over time. Because when you first receive your pension, you could do a certain amount with it. And over time, if cost of living increases, that value is eroded. And so every 3 years we index the pension to account for the increases in the cost of living and so. But we're also looking at making the system more accessible to people, to increase coverage, to ensure that almost everybody in the population who is eligible for coverage can access coverage and that they can avail themselves of the protection. So digitization is another way that we are going to ensure that we are ready for the future generations of Social Security contributors.
Okay. So the actuarial review, I may be coming on in the influenza as well.
No.
I don't know.
Watch that.
No, I rebuke it, but it's so wrong. Anyway, so the actual review would look at, as you said, digital transformation as well, and so it is a part of the when I look at the DSS, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
It's part of the, in terms of the digital transformation, this is part of the enabling environment that you are created.
Indeed.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So let us go to Abdul, and we have to talk about increase in pension and grants. I know a lot of people like that particular topic and
Yes.
certificate of life forms.
Yes.
But let us look at the digital transformation. What is happening at this stage? Because it's ongoing from what I see.
Yes.
What is happening at this stage? Where are we, Abdul? What has been done already? Take us through. Walk us through this.
Okay, well, let me put it like this. Growing up, if I had to listen to you on the radio, it would literally be only on the radio. We have evolved over the years. We can now get you online, instant. Some things are recorded, we have it in the hands. You can actually check DBS on your phone, in your hands. Now, like all systems around us, they have to evolve. Everything is going with technology, and that says the same for Social Security. We have been at the point where, yes, we have a system where we can process your claims, track your pensions, but this is a system that is now we consider a legacy system. It's outdated. We need to get to the point where you, as the employee, can actually see your contributions. You can actually track what is happening. The employers, to make it easier for them to do their filing. So we have decided to move to that stage where we don't just have the system and the data available to us, but also to get to the point where we can have it to the public, so they can track their own statuses in terms of whether you're employer or employee. At this stage now, we are doing it in a step-by-step process, going from department to department, where we are rolling out each stage. We started with the contributions department and cash-in, and now we are on to the claims department. So we are moving forward to integrate all of Social Security, all departments onto the system, and from there, then after we'll move on to the public phase, where we'll get employers on board, and from the employers, then after we get the employees. And I know when we go online, where the public can have access to the system, they will be happy. They'll be gracious for that, because the amount of time some persons call us or they come to us to check the status of a claim or to verify whether their contributions are being paid, now they'll have it in the palm of their hands. So like everything around us, it's evolving. So is Social Security.
Okay, it's very relevant. It is much needed. But how tedious is it, though?
How tedious? Oh, well, I'll call it like a balancing act, because you're moving from one system to the next. And for instance, let's look at if you go for you're going for your driver's license. You have your instructor. He's teaching you how to drive. You go to safe zones. You can only drive within certain times. Then you get your driver's license. You can drive at any time. You can choose to rush to Portsmouth, do what you want. But at the same time, remember, you just get your license. You will not be able to fly to Portsmouth as you want. But in a year or two, you will be able to. So it's similar to that with us now. We have been training the staff. We are getting the staff ready while each department comes online. But at the same time, we have those little speed bumps. We have these little refreshers where we the support that we have to give is more than the usual, because we do not want the public to face a crisis where we have too many delays. Yes, delays are expected, but you do not want too many delays. So that part has been, I'd say, tedious, a little bit more stressful. You have to make sure everything is in order. But we're coming along, and I will put it, all delays have been reduced as we go on for each department. It's not something where it's getting worse. It's more of, okay, we started, if you could only drive at 20 miles per hour, now we can drive at 40, and we're hoping to get to where we could drive at 100.
Kamasha, I'm listening to Abdul, and I'm like, wow, because when you realize, in reference to how the Social Security came about to where we are now and what is being put in place, you are the marketing officer. How would you describe this, this initiative undertaking being done at the DSS?
I certainly embrace that initiative, Ivona, because as Abdulaziz said, everything is evolving right now. Digitalization is on an all-time high right now. Look, we're into artificial intelligence right now. So Social Security cannot remain static. We have to evolve and move with the times. The generation that we have now are more into social media. They are more into automation and those things. So Social Security too, we have to keep up to be able to satisfy our customers, to be able to be efficient in our processes, to deliver the service that we are expected to deliver, which is to pay our pensioners on time and all claims to be processed within a timely manner. So that is where we are now, and so that is why we are also on social media. And as you indicated before, we have a Facebook page which persons can follow in order for them to keep abreast of what is happening at Social Security. So that is just taking it one step further up the notch into what Mr. Sanderson spoke about with our new system.
Augusta City and Social Security moving with the times. It's
Indeed.
good, you know.
Indeed,
it's
good. It's good. And it has to because it is expected to deliver that promise to successive generations. The past generations have gone. The current generations are enjoying their benefits. When my time comes, your time comes, we need to enjoy ours. When my children's time comes, they have to enjoy theirs. So we have to move with the times and ensure that the system can continue to be there to deliver that promise. So whatever is necessary, we have to provide. Take the decisions, do what needs to be done, make the investments, put the resources in place to ensure that the system can be there to deliver what it promises to deliver to our people.
I remember when we started that program long ago, the talk was about people having to come in to update their information, people having to come in, to do other things like the Dominica Social Security. We have abandoned this type of talk now. Obviously, if you are here, you can still come in.
Yes,
know?
Indeed. Yes.
And especially now, a lot of people are returning home, after the carnival, for the carnival. So they can always go to the Social Security to update their information.
Indeed, to check their
But what is very important is that there's a lot online. That you can do from the comfort of your home or wherever you are. And that is definitely good.
And as you mentioned, that the avenue by which we have for overseas-based pensioners access or complete their life certificate forms via WhatsApp video call. It's amazing how they respond. They say, that's all. Last night I interfaced with a few pensioners and they were so grateful for that opportunity just to have that. That's all I have to do. Thank you for that. That makes it so much easier for me because with the cold weather in the US, some of them cannot go out to go and find a notary public to notarize their forms for them. So they appreciate that new avenue.
One pensioner did indicate to me while I was recertifying her form that you all made my life so much easier. I would have to go out in the cold right now. I would have to pay so much money, make an appointment, get to a notary. Then after I get that form, I have to get it couriered back to Dominica. So things are so much simpler. All she do at the comfort of her home, pick up her phone, get her ID on hand, and call Social Security.
Okay, go ahead.
No, and it also must be noted that though they have spoken about the COLs and process them for overseas pensioners, but also remember we also have our local pensioners. We have some who are bedridden, who cannot write at this moment, and that has made it also easier for them, where they could stay in their home. We could organize a WhatsApp call. We verify that they're alive, and after their pension payments will continue.
So the department that you had, you are the Computer Services Administrator, is that right?
Correct. Yes.
So this department is responsible, really, primarily, for what I spoke about earlier in terms of me liking to go on your Facebook page and see all of what is happening. So that is the department involved in this, or?
No, well, when it comes to the marketing aspect of it, we will assist.
Marketing.
Yes,
Okay.
assist, but
so you work closely as well with Commercial Lloyd and whoever else is in the department. So that's very good, Commercial. So that's very good in terms of what I'm seeing, as I said.
Ivan, I just want to highlight one thing which Mr. Sanderson spoke earlier about the system being so easy for the our contributors when it is made public, when it goes live public. And I want to highlight one thing, because when we got out there, we normally tell persons, always check in with Social Security, ensure that your employers are actually making your contribution payments for you. Don't just take it for granted that you have a salary slip with a deduction on it, that the money arrives at Social Security. And what these employees will be able to do with this system is they'll be able to log in and see whether their contributions are actually being paid to Social Security. They'll be able to see their history of their records and everything at the touch of a button, just by logging into their account at Social Security. So it's making it so much easier. If there's an issue, contribution missing, they can easily get in touch with us and let us know so we can have it investigated in quick time.
And I'm sure the reviews are positive, right? The feedback you're getting from people on this, that it's positive.
Well, we have not yet gone out to the public to market the system.
Okay.
Yes, so we are doing like a pre-marketing initiative right now, and then once the system is about to go live, we will definitely be meeting with stakeholders on that.
Okay, so as we said, it's ongoing.
Yes.
There's a lot that has to be done still.
We're going stage by stage. As I said, we have the the CASHA contributions. We have started with the claims. After that, we still have the compliance department. And from there, then after we'll be moving to the public phase, which will be the employers, the doctors, and then the employees. So everything is in phases. We're taking it, and we intend that by the end of this year, that the public will have that access. We should do some testing before that, expose some employers, expose some insured persons. You know, there are always those who will jump at the chance to get on board. They want to try the new things. So we'll be looking for those people who are enthusiastic about jumping on and testing and working with us to ensure that when we fully go live, that if there are any glitches, they would have helped us pick it up when we actually
because you
go
have to
public.
ensure that it's a robust system.
Indeed,
It's- yeah.
indeed. While you want to give them access, you want to ensure that they cannot compromise integrity of information on our system. Yes.
So like a training ground now, DSS, a lot of training going on.
Yes,
even as
indeed.
we speak.
Yes, everybody
That's good.
busy. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that's good. Okay, so we'll come back to it a little, but let's just let's take this caller. I'm not sure if this person wants to share with us on what we are speaking about right now. So let's go to the telephone. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. Let me see if I can. Hello. Okay. Hello, good morning. Another call. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Etienne, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
All right. I've been listening to the program there.
Hello?
And
Hello?
Yes?
You're kind of muffled.
You sound like you're
Yeah,
muffled.
you're muffled. So you
Am I better?
That's better. That's much better.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, yes. My little
Going back down.
commendations that I want to make is twofold. One, what I want to say is there, I know in the public service there is, a retirement age. Now, is there a retirement age for employees, or as I think I may correct myself, the Social Security is a statutory board of government, right?
Yes, it's statutory. Yes.
Okay, so my question, I think I answered it myself, because what I want to say is that the director and the assistant director have been doing so much of a wonderful job with Social Security. My question was, and is, if, let's say, like, is there a follow-up that if at all, that you both, the director and assistant director, retires, are there any people, the establishment, that will be able to take over and do as much as well as you are doing?
Well, here lies a question that doesn't really relate to what we're talking about.
I
right
know,
now,
but I'm sure as an organization we're doing succession planning. So given that this is how we operate, I would like to think that legacy will continue.
The reason I say that is that I know Mrs. Razak has been there for years, as well as yourself.
Yes.
And you know, well, I know a lot of members, staff members of the establishment. But you all in that in authority tutoring the others as to if you all decide to say, okay, I have had enough.
Not if, but when. Not if, when.
it's a given.
When? Okay, right.
It's when.
Right.
Yes.
When you all decide, okay, I've had enough. And as you said, you have succession planning. But I want to commend both you, Mr. Etienne, and Mrs. Sajak, for the excellent job that you all have been doing at Social Security. I am saying this because I am a recipient of
Your pension.
of my old age pension and also a survivor's pension. So I know Social Security from the time it was established as NDF in 1976, I think, right?
Social Security in 76, yes.
So, you know, I just thought of that and I listened, although I may be off your discussion, but I just thought of that, you know, and said, let me call to commend you both.
Thank you.
And Social Security on a whole
Okay, thank you.
for the job that you all are doing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
You
thank
will.
you. I want to say that's a culture that we've been cultivating over the last several years, and I would like to think that it's a culture that will continue. Having started that thing, it will continue. My marketing officer will be there longer than I am because I'm older than her. When we become pensionable, I guess it will be time for us to leave. But we would like to think that the process will continue, whoever succeeds us.
All right. 1-800-327 is the number to call. 448-3284, 616-1327. You could WhatsApp us on that number. And if you're calling from overseas, it's 305-432-9744. I think we have another call on the line. Let's just take this call quickly. Hello? Hello? Okay, you'll have to call us back. Dominica Social Security in the house. As we said from the onset, every third Wednesday, of every month. Third Thursday of every month. Sometimes we juggle it because sometimes something is happening. But I can tell you, it's consistent. And a number of people have benefited from this, the information, the wealth of information, on a program like this. When you consider Providence Fund, then Dominica Social Security, we're talking digitalization and all of that. Right. So yeah, we have made tremendous strides. I say we, like I'm part of it.
That's it.
I am part of it.
I
have to take ownership of it.
Make your claim, Ivan. You'd be treating
I have
much.
to take ownership of it as well. So let's go back to the telephone. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you all?
Good morning,
Fine,
Paul.
thank you.
Yeah, my name is John Baptist. I have a serious concern, Ivona, and the director would bear with me. I went to Social Security on the 14th, that is last week, and that is crunch time for paying your Social Security. And I spent an hour and 45 minutes in the line. First of all, there was one cashier, and we complained. Another cashier actually came, and it was a struggle. And my disappointment is that the director came. I was making noise, tells me that I'm making too much noise. But he never sought to address the situation. And I'm saying on the 14th of the month, with this crucial time, you have one cashier there, and people have to be in a line. Later on, I understood there's a new system. But my God, I mean, people have to go through that struggle at Social Security. No, this is just unacceptable for people having to pay their monies every month. On the 14th of the month, you have to spend an hour and 45 minutes at the Social Security, and I have my business to go and do.
Okay.
Please address that situation, please.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Kalal. I'm not sure if it happened. I should have asked him if it happened to him several times already.
I don't know. They really seem to have been a problem last Friday.
Okay.
With people standing in the line, but I guess I got a call from one of my officers downstairs that there are a lot of people in the line waiting. It wasn't the director, incidentally. The executive director is Mrs. Thomas. I am the deputy director, so I guess when he referred to the director, he was referring to me. So I went downstairs. I was told that there was one cashier. I tried to reach the head of the accounting department. I couldn't find them, but I went downstairs at the time. And by the time I got downstairs, there were two cashiers in place, which is what we would expect to happen at a crucial time like this. There might have been one cashier for a split second. I don't know what happened. I cannot speak to it because I wasn't there physically. But when I got the call from my colleague downstairs, I went down to just assess what was happening. And as soon as I got out downstairs, Mr. John Baptist called out to me, and I just tell him, calm down. I went out to the line. I didn't address him directly because, and fortunately for him, by the time I got there, or unfortunately for him, he was maybe the next second or next person in line to see the cashier. I don't know how much time he spent at the cashier's counter. But I went in the line and spoke to a few people, and some people had checks in the night, and rather than wait, if they could just leave their checks in the checkbox and we would deal with it later, rather than stay in there. So we try our best to process people as quickly as possible. And while that happens on occasions, yesterday I was in the lobby assisting somebody, and there were two elderly people. Lily had done her transaction for a while. She'd been there waiting for them to pick her up. And she said, this is one of the best places I can come to get service. I said, ma'am, we need to call the radio and say that. We have difficulties sometimes. She's an elderly lady. She must be in her 90s. If she's not 90, she's close to 90. And I asked her, you got served already? She said, they took care of me already. I'm just waiting for somebody to go and pick me up because I cannot walk what. But this is one of the best places you can go to get service because everybody's on their P's and Q's trying to assist you. We have a situation now where people are, the office is forever filled with people who are looking to get cards, social security cards, because they want to do certain transactions. And that is presenting a challenge as well because our social security card, although it is accepted as a valid form of ID by all and sundry outside there, we are not in the business of issuing or even selling social security cards. It's not everybody who comes to get a card can get a card, because you first have to be a contributing member of Social Security for you to be able to obtain a card. And when you have the card, if you do not pay contributions, at the end of the day, the card is not going to have any value to you. We have come across persons who have cards for many, many, many years and have not paid a single contribution. They have a card flashing out there, yes. They can use it to do transactions, but the real purpose for the card is that you are a contributing member, that when you get yourself in a situation, you can get access to benefits. If you're not paying contributions, the card is not worth anything to you. Okay, so we try to explain that to people. And so there are times when people come into maybe, and they have to pay, when they have to get a card, a replacement card. If it's a new card, it's free, but if they get a replacement card, because a card expired or they lost their card, they have to pay a contribution. So sometimes they have to go to the cash as well. But most times the people who are downstairs in the lobby are there waiting to access a card. So people need to understand when they come. And the 14th is the deadline for paying contributions, yes. We have the 13th the day before, the 14th. Everybody ought not to wait for the 14th at the 11th hour to come and pay, because they had the 13th to pay. They had 14 days within the end of the month to come and pay. On the 14th, they come in at the 12th hour, sometimes during lunch hour. The staff have to take their lunch another front. I'm not making an excuse, but at the same time, if everybody chooses to come at that time, it's going to create a problem. And as well, given the fact that we are transitioning from the old to the new system, that in itself is present a little challenge. But we're doing our best to ensure that this is not repeated, that we, by the time the next deadline comes, and people need to take advantage of other means of paying their contributions, like paying online and so on. Okay? So we're doing our best. I mean, it's unfortunate that Mr. John Baptist had that experience. And I cannot say I understood he was there for a long time, and I can empathize with him. But we're doing the best we can with what we have in the situation.
Okay. And so, Yvonne, I just want to highlight that persons should not really have to follow a line to pay their social security contributions. We have various methods that will allow you to pay social security from the comfort of your office or even your home.
Anywhere
you could pay
vehicle.
via mobile banking. You could pay via bank transfer. We have a drop box at the office for check payments. So you have options. You don't need to follow a long line at Social Security. You come in, you have a check, you drop it in the box. We mail your receipt to you, or if you want, you could call us and say, I'll pick up my receipt on X, whatever dates, and we will work with you. So there are many options to pay your contributions. And really, don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until the 14th to come in to pay your contributions. We give you a grace period of 14 days.
And some people come in knocking the door after 3 when the cashier closes at 3 to balance for the day. They come knocking because they want to avoid the late fee penalty. But I mean, we can do better than that.
Yes, and
we can do better than that.
as Mr. Eden also said that, and to remind the audience, is that we are transitioning from one system to the next. I'm not saying staff is trained, they know how to use the system, but driving at 60 versus driving at 100, because you're getting accustomed. Your muscle reaction is different. You're accustomed with a different system. So it's an adjustment period also. It's really unfortunate that Mr. John Baptist had to stand for, he said, an hour and 45 minutes. But as my colleague said, sometimes you can also try to come in earlier. We don't have to try to rush to do things at the last minute. But we aim that the next time, the next 14th, if so chosen again for persons to come at the last minute, that things will work a lot more efficient.
So the ongoing training, of course, would lead to some delays. It's really to simplify the process, make it even much easier. Let's go to the telephone. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay, so that person would have to call us back. We are speaking with officials of the Dominica Social Security. You mentioned the increase in pension and grants earlier on. I think you were talking about something and you mentioned this. I want to focus on this as well. I know the last program we looked at this, but I wanted you to sort of, for emphasis, repeat what exactly is in place.
Okay. So as we said, every 3 years the system has to be evaluated by an actuary who makes recommendations as well as projections to ensure the sustainability of the system for the next 60 years. And so we have to strike a balance between 3 things. We have to ensure that the contributions that we collect are affordable, people can afford to pay them. The benefits that we pay are adequate, And we have to ensure ultimately system sustainability over the long term. So the actuary make recommendations to address all of those factors. So the increase in the pensions, for example, is to ensure the adequacy or the relevance of the benefits that we pay over time. The increase in the contribution rate, the increase in the pensionable age over time is meant to address the sustainability aspect of it. And the increase in contributions is to ensure affordability, yes, and the rate of increase that we chose was to make it affordable and not too onerous on contributors, but also to ensure that it is adequate to finance the benefits that we are providing. So you will recall that between 2008, 2006, we've been going about talking about changes, reforms that began to take effect in 2012, and the reforms are continuing. The pensionable age has settled at 65. The contribution rate continues to increase by 0.25% every year for the next another 5 or 6 years to go for that to stop. We will achieve a 5% increase after 20 years. We chose to make it that gradual, but in hindsight, we should have done it faster. And then the pension increase is to address the purchasing power of the pension. So every 3 years, there is an inflationary increase that's awarded to pensions in payment, as I say, to restore the purchasing power of the pension. And that is going to take effect as of 1st of March 2025, the last one having been done in March 2022. And the increase, it represents the average rate of inflation over the preceding 3 years. So all pensions that were in payment as at December 2023 are going to realize a 4.27% increase as of Saturday, the 1st of March. So when fortnightly paid pensioners receive their first fortnightly payment in March, they will see an increase of 4.27% in their rate. And for the monthly paid pensioners, when they get their pension for the month of March, they will see that increase of 4.27% on whatever the previous pension had been. At the same time, the minimum pension that we pay is going also to be increased by that same rate. So currently the minimum pension has been $76.81. And as of 1st March, the minimum pension is going to go up to $80.10 per week. We also have to increase funeral grants. Funeral grants which are payable upon the death of an insured person or an uninsured spouse of the insured person or a dependent child of the insured person, which are free funeral grants that we pay at Social Security. Those grants are going to be increased as well. The grants are not increasing necessarily by 4.27%. There is a fixed amount of $200 that has to be added onto the grant, which is paid when an insured person dies. And the other two grants, when an uninsured spouse or a dependent child dies, is increased by the same percentage that the grants payable on the death of an insured person increases. So the funeral grant is going to increase from $3,002 to $3,004 when an insured person died, meaning we who are insured registered paying contributions. When we die, whoever is meeting or liable to meet our burial expenses will receive up to $3,400 towards our burial expenses. Where I am contributing, my spouse is not contributing, and my spouse dies, the system will be paying me $2,832 to help me bury my spouse. Well, that would increase from $26.65 to $28.32. And when a dependent child dies, the grant is going to increase from $13.35 to $14.16 upon the death of a dependent child. These increases intending to restore the purchasing power of those dollars. So back in 2022, we were told, actually from 2019, we were told that the rate of the funeral grant that was paid then could afford the cost of a basic funeral. And so we're increasing by $200 every 3 years for the grant payable on the death of an insured person. And we increase the other two grants by the same percentage by which that grant is increased.
Hence the importance of the actuarial review, because the review would look at all of this.
Yes.
Interesting.
And make the recommendations to change those things.
You said the increase in funeral grants is from 3,200 to 3,400?
Yes, when an insured person passes, yes. A contributing member.
Yeah, a contributing member. Interesting.
Yes.
All right. So that's information there. Before we leave, though, I still want you to bring this up again, especially the figures. But let's just go on to another aspect of it. The certificate of life forms. I know we have discussed this a lot on past programs, What is the status? Give us a synopsis of what is happening with the COL forms. Normally on DBS Radio we have announcements asking people, about telling them about the certificate of life forms and what they have to come in to do and things like that. What is the latest on this?
Okay, well we are proceeding with that. People are coming to the office to do complete their COL forms. As we said, some people are going via the WhatsApp video call to have that done, particularly those who reside overseas, and even local persons too, who may not be able to physically come and do it. They can do the same. Call the WhatsApp number dedicated for that purpose. But some of the people that have them who are in my contacts or who have me as contact, they call me, and then we just do it over the WhatsApp video call. So the process continues, and we have up to the end of March to do that. I guess during the course of the month of March, we will put out notices reminding people that the deadline is approaching to ensure that they do that. For persons who get their pensions at credit unions in the rural communities, their forms are at those credit unions, so when they go and transact business, they can have that done there. So the staff at the credit unions can witness the forms for them, and they will submit that to us on their behalf once it's completed. For our pensioners in the north of the island whose monies go to the National Bank of Dominica, they can access the Portsmouth branch office to do their forms there, because those forms would be at the Portsmouth branch office. Those whose money goes to the Central Credit Union at Portsmouth, their forms are credit union in Portsmouth, so when they go there, they can have that done.
Okay, let's go back to the telephone. I think we have a caller on the line. Okay, let's see if this person is ready. Good morning. Hello? Hello? Okay, I guess that person will have to call back. I'm not sure if something is wrong with that particular line, because every time I put on a call from that line, we don't hear the person. So call again. There are other numbers you can call, of course. As I said, 1-800-327-448-3284. If you're calling from overseas, is 432. Okay, I think we have a caller. Let's see. Hello? Hello? No, there is... Okay, I'm hearing you now.
Good morning.
Yes, that's better. Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
On that, I always recommend DBA Dominica Social Security on the new and innovation.
Okay, so you're breaking up. You're breaking up. I can get the gist of what you're saying, but I don't hear every word that you say. So let's try that again.
Any better?
Let's try that again. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to express my best wishes to Social Security for the hard work they have been providing in bringing for our contributions. But I have one concern that I need to get clarified. In terms of death, insured one dies, one who pays contributions to the scheme, is there a time frame for a beneficiary to make a claim? The reason why I'm asking is, if the person dies and they have beneficiaries behind and they fail to claim at the time of death, can they come back a year or two later to make an application for a claim?
Okay, so upon the death of an insured person, we just spoke about the funeral grant, which is the contribution towards the burial expenses. That has to be claimed within 1 year of the person's death. If a year has elapsed, that grant is no longer payable. But the benefit that might be payable to the dependents, like a wife, a husband, children, and so on, that will still be payable. It is originally or normally payable from the date of death of the contributor who has died. But if the person makes the claim late, the person would have forfeited some of the benefits. Because when you claim late, the earliest we can pay you from is 1 year prior to the date on which you claim. So if you claim within within 1 year of the person's death, you will be paid from the date of the person's death. If you claim 2 years after the person has died, because that is when you realize you should have claimed, we would pay you 1 year back from the date of claim and continue to pay you for as long as we need to pay you, based on your age and all of the other conditions that you have to satisfy.
All right.
Is that clear?
Right. Number two, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Suggestion regarding this scenario. On the 14th of each month, I will go add extra cashiers to facilitate the last public that come into the office.
We do. We have
Okay.
we have office hours in Portsmouth on those 2 days to facilitate people up there in the north, and in Roseau we will put 2 free cashiers if we have to. For a period of time on Friday, I'm not sure what happened for whatever reason. There was just only 1 cashier. When it came to my attention, I took steps to ensure that we resolved it. And by the time I actually went downstairs, the situation was resolved. So I didn't think at the time there was as much as I could do. But everybody had to wait their turn to get to the cashier and do what they had to do. But there was also another officer who was on the other side, assisting people by cashing manually and giving them manual receipts, and then just to minimize the amount of time that they had to wait in the line. So we observe, we kind of monitor what's happening, and we take action to try to resolve the issue as we go along.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe ATM.
Yes, sir.
ATM.
Yes, sir.
Before I leave, our alma mater. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I missed that.
Indian,
I didn't get that,
Our alma mater.
Okay.
all your-
Sanderson too.
Yeah, I mean,
Sanderson too. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Smartest man alive. Okay, that's all right.
And no, not smartest man alive. Ivona too. Grammar school I went to,
Oh,
Grammar school I went
because
to.
when he said all your alma mater, but he went to SMA.
I don't know
But
who the
you went
person
to-
was. So.
I think, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
we'll not get it clear.
Yeah.
All right. But very interesting though that point raised. This point raised there by that caller. No, as we were talking though, someone also sent me a question as it relates to hacking. Are there measures in place to ensure that the DSS, can curb down on this hacking thing, or just eliminate it altogether? Or I guess maybe Sanderson can tell us. We are living in a world now; it's so difficult now. You have to be on your P's and Q's. You have to be like a police every minute of every hour. What happens though if a hacker or a scammer maybe get somebody's social security number? Are you already looking at things like that?
Social security number. Well, let me answer the first part. The first part when it comes to hacking, as in to getting into our data, seeing that we are going online and will be more open to the internet and more open to the world. Now, no matter how you put it, there is no system that is foolproof. But we are taking all measures possible to ensure that we can reduce on any hacking, any hacker getting into our systems, to the point where we are trying to reduce it, where if you actually do get there and you actually pass the security, that if the system is infiltrated and the system shut down, that our data is still separate, that data will still be available for us to, when we resolve the issue, come back, that the data will not be touched. Minus that data that is operating on live, there's still additional backups, both on and off-site. So all that, these are measures that we have taken to ensure that the integrity of our data stands. Because you can break a system, that's no issue. But if we lose your data, then that becomes an issue for insured persons and employers, for your records to have disappeared or anything. That is the issue that would be the problem, not the actual system. It will just be an inconvenience at the time.
All right. Okay. 1-800-327-448-3284. I see someone is calling. Let me see, but it's not showing up though on my main device. So you'll have to maybe call me on another number. There's also 448-3281 and 448-3279. As I said, 1-800-327-448-3284. And our overseas line, the number is 305-432-9744. The Dominica Social Security in the house. Let's just listen to Dice for a short while, and then we get right back in the discussion.
Secure yourself, secure your family. Register with Social Security. Make sure your employers pay, cause some of them do melee. Make sure they pay your Social Security. Secure your age pension when you're old. Invalidity pension when health has left you cold. Survivor's pension, secure for your spouse and your children. Life and health, above unpredictable. Don't take risks, you can't afford to gamble. Secure yourself with Social Security. I said that. Social Security, it good, you know.
Social Security, good, you know. Let's go back to the telephone. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
I I noticed that Mr. Aiton forgot to advise employers to make use of the e-submit facility.
Okay. The e-submit facility?
Thank you, caller.
You heard that? The e-submit facility, she said you forgot to employ.
Yes, where they could submit their contribution details electronically and just send the payment. They can pay online, mobile banking.
So that is why I earlier mentioned, Ivona, that you don't necessarily have to come in physically to the office. You could stay at the comfort of your office or at your home and pay your social security contribution. So as the caller mentioned, with the e-submit, you would send your data electronically, the state forms and so on, electronically to us, and then you could pay either by bank transfer, you could pay via mobile banking, or you could send in your payment by checks.
Okay.
And to all employers who are listening, especially those who are already using the e-submit facility, when we start to go to the public, we would like to target you all first to test out the system. I hope you'll be willing to participate to make this change easier for us.
Those who are already using it.
Yes.
Okay, I like this. Okay.
Thank you for that. Thanks for that.
Yes, that caller there had a very interesting point. And I like that, the fact that she said that you forgot to remind. Although Camacho would have said something on that earlier on.
Along that line.
But the fact that she takes ownership as well. So she's part of the whole system. So that's good. That's good. Let's go back
I appreciate that caller.
Yes. Back to the telephone. Hello.
Hi, good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Yes, I'm calling to find out that investment Social Security had made smart. What about that? Whatever happened?
The investment that Social Security had, what happened to what?
He mentioned something.
Mapping.
Well, mapping.
Okay.
Mapping was sold several years ago to, it was Flo who eventually bought it. And Social Security realized what it had to realize from the investment at the time it sold it. What else is that you're interested in finding out?
I didn't hear that properly.
I said the mapping investment was sold some years ago to Flo.
Yes.
Flo took over mapping and then they made whatever changes they had to make. So Social Security realized whatever returns it had to realize on the investments when they sold.
Okay, caller?
Okay, then, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Earlier, Mr. Aiton mentioned something about certificate of life forms and persons calling through WhatsApp video call. I just want to remind the persons who are utilizing that feature, when they are calling us, they need to have their ID on hand. And the ID that they are using, we prefer the Dominica Social Security card, but in the absence of that, they could use another valid ID. But importantly, though, the ID that you're using, your name on that ID must match the name that we have on our system. So if the ID doesn't correspond with what we have on our system, we will not be able to renew your certificate via WhatsApp video call.
Okay, very important. Very important. We are coming to the end of the program. I always like Dominica Social Security in the program for some reason. I don't know. Apart from me learning a lot, I just like the vibe, the conversation, the casual conversation, the comments coming from people and all of that. Let's take another caller though. Hello, good morning. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, I just want to ask, after Social Security take over, after the bridge pension, does the amount increase, decrease, or stay the same?
Say that again.
After the Social Security.
I was saying after Social Security take over, the bridge pension from government.
Yeah.
I was saying, does the contribution received from Social Security increase, decrease, or stay the same?
Stay the same in relation to what?
Like what you get from government.
No. These are two different systems. Government have its way of calculating the bridge pension. Social Security has its way of calculating its pension. When Social Security starts paying your pension, as we're explaining now, every 3 years you will realize an increase on it for inflation purposes. But the pension that you will qualify for at Social Security has no relevance to what you're getting as a bridge pension from government, because the formulas may be different. I'm not sure how government calculates the bridge, but we have our own formula, our own rules for calculating our pension. What will happen is that because you would have waited to collect, because you would have received the bridge pension from government and waited to get your full pension from Social Security, whatever your pension is calculated at, you will receive it from Social Security without it being reduced as if you had taken it early. Okay? So you will qualify for your pension based on your contribution history, your earnings and all of that. At Social Security, when you calculate it, we will pay you that value for the rest of your life, increased for inflationary purposes every 3 years. It may not necessarily be a reference or any proximity to what you're getting as your bridge pension from government.
Thank you
Okay?
very much.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's get closing remarks. Let's hear from Kamasha, from Sanderson, and then, of course, we'll end with Mr. Etienne.
Okay, Ivona, I just want to implore the public's continued patience with us as we go through that transition process of our new system, which will seek to make things so much easier for them in the long term. It will increase our efficiency and the way that we serve our customers. Customer satisfaction is expected to increase as a result of that. And I want to remind our pensioners that the deadline for their Certificate of Life Forms renewal is the 31st of March, failing which their pensions will be suspended until we receive it. Those who are overseas can take advantage of the opportunity to renew their life certificate forms via WhatsApp video call. The number is 275-2600. Ensure that you have a valid ID on hand when you are making that call. Again, at Social Security, we exist to pay our benefits. We exist to provide income protection to all contributors in Dominica who are contributing to the Dominica Social Security. We take this very seriously, and if I may boast that our pensioners can say that their pensions are always on time, and it hits their account even before the staff at Social Security get their salaries. So I want to say that we take this mandate very seriously, and we are here to provide you with all the information that you need about Social Security. If you need us to come to talk to your staff, talk to your clientele, talk to your members, we are available to do so. You just need to make the request to us, and we'll be happy to do so.
Okay.
Okay. I'd like everybody to know one thing. With progress, there's always a pause. You always have to evaluate. There's always something in the change, but the training, be it a switch. So, yes, we may get slowed down at certain points, but we are pushing forward. We are looking forward to the future. And as Kamasha just said, our pensioners, they cannot say that even in this switch that we have slowed down on their payments. They are still getting their payments on time. And another thing is, in Dominica, people like to say, boy, we always last for things, we're always behind. Just to let the listeners know, Dominica Social Security is the first in the OECS to start going forward to this new system to modernize. The others are following us this time. We are ahead.
Trailblazers.
Yes.
Nice. Mr. Etienne, as we end?
Okay, just to crave the indulgence of the public, again, as we do that transition from the old to the new IT system, which we eagerly anticipate the efficiencies going to bring, we just crave the indulgence to bear with us for whatever little delays they may experience in accessing their services from Social Security. To remind the pensioners about the need for them to complete their COL forms. And to, again, just reiterate the fact that as of the 1st of March, all pensioners who had been in receipt of pension as at the end of 2023 will be seeing a 4.27% increase on their pensions as of the 1st of March 2025. And funeral grants payable from the 1st of March 2025 will be at $3,400 when an insured person dies, at $2,832 when an uninsured spouse dies, and at $1,416 when a dependent child dies. Good news for these persons, for pensioners, good news for persons who will be accessing funeral grants from the 1st of March, that the amount that they will be receiving will be higher than what the previous persons would have received.
Certainly good.
So we continue to be there, and that is what we exist to do. Yes, we have challenges, but we have to try to surmount those challenges, but to continue to ensure that we can deliver on that promise, because that's what we exist to do. And we need the cooperation of all and sundry, all stakeholders, all employers, all self-employed persons, voluntary contributors, employees, pensioners, everybody who has a stake in Social Security to make that their business and cooperate with us in ensuring that we can do well what we were designed to do so that everybody can benefit and enjoy it when their time comes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And on that note, we end. Let me say thanks to all of you. I already look forward to next month's program.
Yes.
So you can just imagine. But really good information there, pertinent information coming from today's program again. And let me thank all those who called. Join us again next week on the Thursday.
Next month, yes.
Next month.
Next month.
Next month.
You really want
You want us back.
My goodness. Right. Okay, so that shows. Yes. Join us next month, and God willing, for another program with the Dominica Social Security. Thank you so much.
Welcome and thanks for having us as usual.
Well, look at what I did. I did not even have your faces on for a while.
Oh.
So
I didn't realize that.
no, you were on from the beginning. You were on from the beginning, but then I faded and then anyway. But thank you so much. We'll do it again.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
All right. So what we'll do at this time is go over to the press conference of the Discover Dominica Authority on Carnival that has started already. Of course, it's in